Hello, and welcome to another update video on Bitcoin. So on the Bitcoin chart, we currently see a bit of a rejection here on the daily chart to this resistance area. However, we remain firmly in this range here. The support levels we talked about in the previous video are not broken. In fact, today the market closed the CME gap. We will take a look at all of that in this video. Before we start with the technical analysis, today we had the Fed interest rate decision announcement. Jerome Powell spoke. What can I say? Nothing really unexpected. 25 basis point decrease. Yeah, I warned you, we will likely get some volatility on the day. I told you what the relevant support levels are. In fact, I said I'm going to watch for support around the 21-week exponential moving average, around $111,300, $111,500, roughly in this area. You know where it is, yeah. If you have access to our live charts here, you see that the 21-week exponential moving average is holding exactly. So we are still holding above that level. Not that this is such an important level, but I thought, well, we have Fibonacci support in this area and support of the 21-week exponential moving average. So if we get further downside from here, then the focus can shift to the 99K level. That's the 55-week exponential moving average, but we're not even there, right? We haven't even broken the 21. And so we had a 25 basis point decrease, right? That was decided. So 41 days to the next Fed interest rate decision. You see here what the market expects, right? So I mean, what you can see here, this is already for the next meeting, 68.4% probabilities for another reduction of 25 basis points, whereas 31.6% probabilities are currently assigned to we remain where we are. So at the moment, probabilities would rather suggest we continue to reduce rates. Something to keep an eye on. A bit too far out at the moment, but that is currently the view. Again, back to the daily time frame for BTC. I mean, I mentioned a while ago, this resistance area remains relevant, and that it will likely provide resistance. That is why it's on the chart. We have seen a rejection, and we're now holding micro support. I will share with you in a minute what the relevant micro support levels are. But let's just take a moment to look at this pattern. It's all just range bound. Bitcoin just doesn't seem to be able to push any higher at the moment. I mean, we're trying, but there is nothing really impulsive in this move to the upside. So the risk remains that this move up remains or is just a corrective bounce, a corrective rally, you could say, from the swing low there that formed around the 17th of October. It's all three-wave structure like, it's all corrective in nature. We're not dealing with any impulsive structures. It could be a diagonal pattern, and that's exactly the white scenario that we're tracking on the smaller time frame. It's important to understand that the low that formed around the 17th of October could be an A wave in a larger ABC structure, but it could also just be a fourth wave as well, right? And we move higher in a fifth wave. In both scenarios, we can watch for higher prices as long as certain micro support levels are holding. Okay, and I share these micro support levels with you on the smaller time frame. So basically, just that you understand what the context is. This move to the upside is either a B wave, which could also still extend, or we're dealing with a third wave in this fifth wave, but it's not impulsive. So wave 1 would be an ABC structure here. Wave 2 obviously was a higher low. Then the third wave should also be an ABC structure. Then we can get wave 4, wave 5, and that is how we can grind higher. But that is basically what we are tracking at the moment on the smaller time frame. So that just that you understand how it also, all fits into the bigger picture. Lots of volatility on the smaller time frame. So I can only say when you watch the video, maybe things have changed already. That's why it can be important to have updates in our live feed, you could say, on Discord. You can join if you're interested. I'll put the links for our membership into the description and the comment section. But basically what we saw earlier today, and this was the last member update that I sent out before I recorded this video, I said from the low, from the intraday low, which formed here around 109,330, we have a 5-wave move up and a 3-wave pullback into Fibonacci support, and we already have a reaction to that support area. But this is too small to really account for, or let's say to give us strong confirmation that we're turning around. Just saying that we already have a reaction to this Fib support area. Too small, that reaction, yeah, so far. Zoomed out a bit, if we zoom out a bit, you can see what I mean about, the move to the upside. It can either be this B wave. I'm talking about the move from the 17th of October low. Yeah, I just showed you the bigger picture. This here is now everything zoomed in. Apologies. We have seen so far 3 waves up. Even in the orange scenario, in which this is a corrective bounce, we could go higher. The first key support level here I'm watching is at $108,670. So as long as we're holding above that, we can go higher directly. Even in the white scenario, in which I track this as a diagonal pattern, ABC in wave 1, ABC in wave 3, this would be the support area. So at the moment, these two scenarios we're tracking, they share one support area. I'm going to zoom in a minute. Bigger picture wise, the CME gap, guys, is filled. The CME gap I shared with you already since the beginning of the week. I've been sharing it with you. It's closed, it's filled. I can remove it now. And I will also remove the other irrelevant levels. We don't need to have all the levels on the chart. We keep it clean. But basically, the wave count I shared with you earlier today is still relevant, still valid. We have an A wave, a B wave, and a C wave. And then in the C wave, we have 5 waves. The market earlier today tried to break out, or it didn't even try. It just moved into resistance. The resistance area I just removed and got rejected there and formed a long, long 5th wave. Now, it's a bit long for a 5th. However, on a day like that, you sometimes get distortions. Remember, it is a 5-wave move down in wave C at the moment, and you get distortions because people are always crazy on a day like that. I mean, sentiment is just going wild. Fed day. So I will also remove the upper section here of our support area. We don't need anymore. Try to keep it clean. So this is what we're looking at now. Possible B wave pullback. Support is $108,670. As I said, as long as we are holding this level, there's a chance for a reversal and a rally to 130K. In the first instance, to 117,600. And in the very short term, but that is really only visible on the 5-minute chart, that is what I shared earlier today in the membership. We have 5 waves up, pullback. Let's see if we hold it. This is too early to say that, it could easily form another low. And I already shared with you what the next support level will be. So yeah, that's the update on Bitcoin. Hope you liked the update. If you did, hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment, and subscribe. And yeah, if you're interested in additional updates, also follow us on X for further updates, charts, short-term updates, and much more. I'll leave a link in the comment section. Thanks so much. Bye-bye.